Welcome. In this video, we're going to talk about how to complete the learning checks in this course. The learning checks are labeled as LC, and each learning outcome has a learning check. Once you have completed a quiz with a score of 2 or higher, the learning check will become available to you to complete. The learning checks are sort of like slightly more advanced quizzes. They're also timed, so instead of 90 minutes, you'll have about 60 minutes. And the problems may be a little bit different or a little bit more challenging than the quizzes. So think of the quizzes as your first entry-level way to show proficiency on a learning outcome. And the learning checks are the second, slightly more advanced opportunity for you to show proficiency on that learning outcome. So you don't want to start a learning check until after you've passed the quiz, preferably with a 3 or higher, and you've done all of the homework and regenerated them as many times as possible until you're confident. Once you're ready, go ahead and start the learning check by clicking on its link below the calendar. You can also use the Show Your Learning folder to go to the learning check that you want to take, and then click on its link in its folder. When you do that, you'll see the basics. 4 points are possible. 3 or 4 shows proficiency. The due date, how many times you can take the assessment, and the time limit. Once you start it, you'll get a warning just like with the quiz, and you'll want to read the instructions very carefully. The first question will once again be the honor code statement. Again, this is like a quiz, or it's like a mini exam. You are being asked to show what you know, not what other people know, not what other people help you to complete. This should be completely your work and your work alone, and so you do need to agree to that in order for that particular assessment to count. When you do that, you will move to the first question. You can always check to see how many questions are on the assessment that have points with the drop-down menu if you want to plan. But you will work through this set of problems just like you did on the quiz. The progress can be saved automatically every few seconds. The timer can be closed, and you will get no immediate feedback on your answers as you make your way through the learning check. When you enter an answer into a learning check and move to the next question, like this, your progress will automatically be saved. If you want to force your progress to be saved, you can just click the Save Progress button. When you have worked through all of the problems in the learning check and put answers into all the boxes, you will want to double check by clicking backwards and forwards to make sure that you have put in answers into everything where you did the work. So I'm just putting in random incorrect answers here. And then once you're done, you can submit and end. Make sure you don't do that until you're really ready, because as the warning says, you will not be able to change your answers if you click OK. But if you are done, go ahead and click that OK button. You'll get a summary of your work. Looks like in this particular problem, I got a 0.3 by putting in some random problems, or some random answers rather, and then I'm going to exit. Of course, I'm not going to retake it until after I go back and review that content to make sure that I have corrected any errors that I may have made. So when I click exit, then that will then show in my gradebook. So you can see here in the gradebook, there's my score and any feedback that's there. So if you click the feedback, you'll get to see what may be there depending on the assignment. This particular feedback that I just opened isn't valid for this particular course and will change once you get to your particular learning checks. So that is how you're going to work on the learning checks. If you have questions, please post them or ask me, and I'll answer them as soon as possible. That completes this video on learning checks.